Hey guys, it's Amy Deb, the Keto Queen. How are you guys doing? It's Monday. I'm starting dinner. I don't know what time it is. I think it's a little earlier than normal. But guys, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great Monday, the very first day to a brand new week. Just ignore the way I look, my pajama pants, my hair. I mean, if you're my friend, just be my friend without any criticism because it's been a day. But I'm excited to be in the kitchen. That's the most important thing for me right this moment, is just to make sure I'm eating good and just really fueling my body with things that I know are going to make me feel good. So guys, I am making a simple dish tonight. It is a sausage cabbage stir fry. And if you can see my skillet right here, what we're doing right now is we have a half of a medium-sized onion because I couldn't find a small onion. We have 2 tablespoons of butter, and then we sliced up a package and a half of the smoked sausage. Now I'm using smoked sausage. You can use kielbasa or any kind of sausage you want, but this is a sausage cabbage stir fry. So as we're waiting on these onions to get soft, because that's really all we're doing, is waiting for the onions to get soft, and maybe if you want to, you can cook it a little longer and start browning your sausage up a little bit. But what we're going to do in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, is we're going to slice our cabbage. So I'm going to show you how super thin I slice my cabbage when I'm doing a stir fry. And then I'm going to show you how to core a cabbage, just in case you guys haven't done that before. Because I have had people ask me, like, how in the world do you even start with the cabbage? Like, and you know what? I get it. I'm 45, but I was 44 when I had my very first Brussels sprout. So I understand. You know, if you're not used to eating vegetables or you haven't really ever tried vegetables in the past, you might need a good lesson on how to prepare that vegetable. So we're going to slice up a cabbage today. And we're just going to do it really simple and together. And what we're doing right now, if you guys just jumped on, is we are sauteing up some onion. It's about a half of a medium-sized onion. And we've got sliced smoked sausage. And that's all we've got over here with 2 tablespoons of butter. So what I do is I core my cabbage. I've done one side already because I wanted a video, just a fast little demonstration of slicing your cabbage thin. But really, you just get a sharp knife. Doesn't have to be this one, but a sharp knife. And you core your cabbage in 4, so we're going to do the rest of it in a second. But when I slice my cabbage for a stir fry, I want it really super thin because I want it to really cook really fast, number 1. And then number 2, I really want it to look like a stir fry vegetable, right? So super thin. So really all you do is take this, and you can't cut it too thin. You can't cut it too thin. So you just take your cabbage and just seriously slice it super thin. And you can always go back if you have some bigger pieces to slice it smaller. When I slice, if I have that big piece, just throw it over to the side, get it out of the way. But you just super thin slice your cabbage. You guys see that? If you can see that, give me some hearts or some thumbs up. I'm super excited about trying out another cabbage stir fry because we did a chicken stir fry and it was delicious. Like me and Ricky both, we loved it so much. And Ricky likes to change things up a bit. And what I like to do when I find a good recipe is I like to take that recipe and see if there's other variations. So instead of using chicken this time, we're using smoked sausage. Instead of using chicken, you could try ground beef, turkey. You can do anything you want. But we are going to change it up just a little bit. And this is what we're doing, is just thinly slicing this cabbage. Just be careful with your fingers. You don't want to cut them. Now, if I was just doing a cabbage, you know, just like a fried cabbage or a roasted cabbage, I would cut it thicker. But the thinner you do, the faster it cooks. I'm all about fast, right? Fast, easy. So the thinner you slice it, the faster it cooks, which is always a good idea for me. All right, so we're just slicing this cabbage super thin. I don't like this little flabby piece. I'm just throwing it over to the side. And like I said, you can't cut it too thin. You can cut it too thick and go back, but you can't make it too thin. Super careful when you get close to those fingers. And I see a little bad part. I'm going to take that off. All right, so there's my first core. Not core. Just like my first fourth. Look at this. It makes a lot of cabbage. We're just going to throw it over here to the side. And I'm going to show you how we actually core the cabbage head. Let me stir this up because I hear it over here just a sizzling. We're just waiting for these onions to get soft, and they honestly are already softening. And because I have 2 tablespoons of butter over here, it may take a while for that sausage to actually start browning. So you don't have to have it brown, but I am going to cook mine down. The longer you cook this, the softer the onions are going to be. Now we're going to add our cabbage over here to the skillet in a few minutes. So just keep that in mind. We're going to be cooking this for a good 30 minutes. So that sausage is going to continue to cook. It may not brown necessarily, but it will continue to cook. If you wanted to brown your sausage first, which is not a bad idea, just cut your sausage, put 1 tablespoon of butter, put your sausage in first, and then add your onion. Okay, so if I wanted it browned, I should have done it that way. Put the sausage in first, let it start to saute, get a little brown around the edges, and then add my onion. I did it backwards, and that's okay. All right, so for the cabbage, what you would do is just take your whole cabbage with a very sharp knife, taking out the outer leaves. You see those over here. Wash it, of course. And then take your knife along each side of the cabbage. So here's one side, and just cut it right down the middle. There's one. Here's another side. And I just seriously get as close to the top as I can. And we are actually coring this cabbage now. Remember, I already took off one side, so now we're doing this side. And look what's left. I mean, I cut that thing to the core, seriously. And I'm just going to throw that over here out of the way. All of that's garbage. And then I just take off all these extra loose leaves, because I don't want a lot of leaves in there. If they're super soft, I see that as a leaf, and I don't want to cook leaves. I'm cooking the cabbage. And now we're going to take each of those 4 quarters, and we're just going to super thinly slice. So as you can see, guys, this is not hard. You do it while you're cooking your onions, so you're not wasting time in the kitchen. You're doing it all together. Fast, easy meals is what I love to do. Ricky asked me if I was going to cook tonight. I'm like, yeah. Not really feeling it, but yes, I need to cook. We don't need to eat junk. We need to cook. So yes, I'm in the kitchen. And we're just thinly slicing. Now this is dangerous right here, especially with me and a knife. If you know my history, you know I don't work well with knives and cheese graters. So I'm going to be really, really careful when I get down to the edge here. So I do not want to cut myself. And I'm going to take that hard piece. Remember that hard piece when you're cutting it? Just pull it over to the side. And you can look back at these and see if you want to cut it a little thinner. I think that's perfect. Ooh, this is smelling so good. Okay, guys, my onions are starting to brown, so I am ready for the next step. Now, if you're going to follow my advice, you're going to use fresh garlic. If you want to use garlic powder, you certainly can do that. You actually can do it in addition to the fresh garlic, but we're going to add some fresh garlic to the skillet. I just took this right out of the freezer. We're going to add some fresh garlic. And I'm going to turn this heat down just a little bit. We're going to add that garlic, let it cook for about 60 seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and start adding some cabbage. I love my little garlic press I got. I think I got this at, I either got this at Walmart or Bed Bath & Beyond. I can't remember. But it works perfectly. It's easy to clean. You just run warm water through it. You can use soapy water if you'd like to. Just wash it immediately and let it sit and dry. I don't put it in the washing machine or the dishwasher. I'm going to throw it over here out of the way for a second. Let me get this on video real fast. Shit. Almost did it. That would not have been good. That would not have been good at all. Oh, yes, that looks good. We just added that garlic. We're going to stir that garlic in, let it cook for about 60 seconds, and then we're going to add 2 things. We're going to add some of this cabbage, and then we're also going to add a little bit of avocado oil. You can use olive oil if you would like to, but you definitely want to add a little bit more because that butter has just been soaked up in this onion and the sausage. And we do want just a little bit of liquid in there, not overpowering, not a whole lot. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Can y'all see that good? Can you guys see this? I mean, that looks delicious. I could eat it just like that. I don't even need to add nothing else. I can just eat sausage and onions. Sounds awesome to me. All right, let me go ahead and quickly slice this last 2, and then we're going to throw it into the skillet. Now, you'll see when you cut cabbage, it actually is very large. As far as the amount, it looks like a lot of cabbage, but we know cabbage wilts down to very small portions. So it's going to overflow my skillet, in other words. But then it cooks down and fits perfectly inside this skillet. So again, we're slicing this super, super thin, very carefully. Ooh, I hear that sausage just cooking over there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. About 2 tablespoons. And we're going to go ahead and start throwing in some cabbage. So we're just going to put that cabbage in and we're going to stir it up. Now, I personally am going to put a top over it. Because I know if you put a top over it, it's going to cook faster. You don't have to put a top on it. You can leave the top off, and I love raw cabbage. Who else loves raw cabbage? Like, I think it's an excellent snack. I love it. It might not be an excellent snack, but I love to snack on it when I'm cooking it. And we're just going to tear it up. That was hot. I mean, this is going to be so yummy. See how my skillet is literally almost overflowed with cabbage? It's all right. I got one more piece to cut. The thinner the better, because it's going to cook much faster. And guys, I am fixing to check out your comments, so if you have any questions, just put them in there for me. Girl. All right, and then we're gonna put these last pieces in here. Oh, watch out, baby. Now see these really thick pieces, you can actually take them out if you want to. You don't have to keep these the big thick pieces. Like that's the kind I like. That's the crunchy kind and the core of the cabbage. I actually love to eat that myself. Yeah, but you can just take those out.
Cow chewing cabbage.
Ricky said, "Have you ever heard the term the cow chewing cabbage?" No, that's not it. What my mama used to say all the time, Ricky? That's how the cow chews cabbage? When you're telling stories or something like that? Yeah, when you're telling stories, that's how my mama used to say that.
Oh, that's the process.
All right, we're going to try to stir this up. Now, keep in mind, it's full. And you're not going to be able to stir it up perfectly, but when we cover this up, turning the heat down, so we don't want to burn all those onions on the bottom. We do want it to brown, though. I like brown onions. I like that sausage to brown, and I can tell by looking at the bottom of my skillet, I got some brown sausage. We want it to brown. And keep in mind that as we cook this down, the cabbage is going to get really super soft and start to wilt, and we'll be able to stir it a whole lot easier. So what we're going to do is put the top over it. I just want to stir it up just a little bit, so I don't want those onions to burn on the very bottom. I'm trying to pick them up just a little bit, put some of that sausage on top. We're going to put the top on it and let it cook for a few minutes on low heat, stirring occasionally. You do want to come in here and stir it occasionally because you don't want it to burn.
I don't think you quit stirring.
So I'm trying to stir it up. Ricky's trying to give me a cooking lesson over here. All right, let me get a video real fast. Oh my gosh, that air fryer is really dirty. All right, that looks funny. All right, I think it recorded. Yep.
You on a commercial break?
No, Ricky said I'm on a commercial break. Commercial break. All right, let me get the top. I'll put it, here it is. All right, and we're gonna cover this up. Oh, one thing before I cover it up. We're going to go ahead and add some salt and pepper. You have to have salt and pepper on your vegetables, guys. I mean, your vegetables will not taste good without some seasoning. So salt and pepper.
That's all right. Give it some hearts. And y'all glad to see her back. Give her some hearts.
May.
Okay, I'm
so that's my husband. If you guys are new to the page, he's been missing in action for a little while. He's been trying to keep the dogs quiet while I do videos. All right, so we're going to salt and pepper the vegetables because you have to salt and pepper. You have to salt and pepper your vegetables, and it takes a lot of salt to salt a head of cabbage. So you can do some now and then taste it again later. But we're going to go ahead and put that salt and pepper on, and what we're going to do now is just let it cook down. We've got some paprika. So we had the garlic we added. We got some paprika. We're going to add 3 teaspoons of paprika. Once this gets wilted down, we'll add the paprika, stir it some more. And then we're going to taste test. We're going to taste test to see if we need more salt and pepper. But that's really it. If you want to add some garlic powder, you can. But just the onion, the garlic, the paprika, the salt and pepper, and the sausage really is going to season this thing, I think, really, really well. This is the first time I've cooked it this way, so you guys will know later if we like it. But it just looks really super pretty, I think, already. Commercial break. All right. All right, so I'm drinking some ketones, waiting on dinner. And let me see if you guys have any questions for me. If you have questions, just stick them in the comments there. I'm going to check out the questions and see what you guys have for me tonight. Hey, Robin. I see Joanne on here. I see Jenny. Hey, Karen. How are you? I see Debbie and Emma Jean. How are you doing, ladies? Hey, Emma from Australia. Wow, isn't that awesome? Janet loves cabbage any way you can cook it. Me too, girlfriend, especially on the grill. Ooh, Janet, I have never cooked cabbage on the grill, I'll tell you that. We love cabbage, but I've never done it on the grill. That sounds really, really good. How did things go with your dad? I'll tell you in just 1 second, Sandra. Let me see if there's any questions. Sarah says, I love sauerkraut. Now, see, my mama loved sauerkraut. But I'm telling you, when I was growing up, and I'd walk in her house and smell it, I just could not ever try. I never tried it. And as an adult, I don't know for sure if I want to try it. My grandma loved it. But I'll also tell you, when I used to walk in her house as a little girl, she would boil cabbage. And I think the smell of boiled cabbage is just disgusting. I love to saute cabbage. I love to roast cabbage. I've never grilled it. That sounds awesome. I love cabbage, but I do not like the smell of boiled cabbage. And my mama's house used to smell like sauerkraut and cabbage all the time. I might have to pull my big girl pants up and try some sauerkraut. Ricky, have you ever tried it?
What's that?
Sauerkraut?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
Ricky's not a big fan, so there's my excuse.
I'll eat it. It's good on hot dog.
He just said he'll eat it. So maybe I got to pull my big girl pants and try it on. We had cabbage, onion, green pepper smoked sausage. That sounds delicious, Linda. Polly's also from the Aussie. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me. Put some salt and pepper on the core. Sarah said put some salt and pepper on that core. Ooh, I love the core of a cabbage. Most people don't, but I love it. I will snack on it as I'm cutting it up. Usually I'm cutting it before you guys see, so I've already eaten a lot of it. Am I involved in beta testing? What do you mean, Lynn? Send me a message, Lynn. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Ooh, cabbage core for your soup. Yeah, you can totally do that. My dad has not found anything that tastes good. We talked to the doctor today. You guys know we went to Vanderbilt for our third opinion. And we have another call that we're waiting on from the Mayo Clinic. So we will get a fourth opinion. Like, we're doing everything in our power to do everything we possibly can for my dad. Thank you. I see that, Janet. You're praying for my dad. Please continue to do that. I'm getting through these questions, and I'm going to give you guys an update. Millie says she tried the zucchini fritters today. Oh, they didn't stick, but they sure fell apart. Oh, okay. So I know what you did wrong, Millie, because I did this too my first time. So when you very first make those zucchini fritters, like, you've got to get down there. You got to put them in a drainer, like a strainer. Oh, mine's in the water. I think it's clean. Oh, yeah. Let me show you. So put it in one of these. I call this a strainer. Some people call it a drainer. But put it in here, that zucchini. Get you a paper towel. And I mean, mush on that paper towel. Just get all of the liquid you possibly can get out of it. Because there's a lot of liquid in zucchini. You don't want any liquid in it. Because if you got liquid in it, it's going to fall apart. It just doesn't hold good. So you just want to get in there and get all that liquid out, all of it you can, and then mix it with the rest of the ingredients. But that's what happened to me the first time. Well, y'all know, the first time I cooked them, my skillet stuck. And I had to go buy me a new non-stick skillet, and it worked perfectly after that. Look, I'm putting it back in the dishwasher. It's clean, but I'll put it up later. Putting it back in the dishwasher. Let's see. Thank you, Melody. I went to see Journey. I'm trying to remember where we were. We were at a drug and alcohol conference, I know that. And we took a break to go see Journey one night. I can't remember what state we were in, though. I don't remember. All right, I'm going to stir this up real quick while I'm checking on your messages. Do y'all ever eat hot dogs? We do love hot dogs, but I've never had sauerkraut on a hot dog. That's what Ricky just said. He said he's had it on a hot dog before, so he'll try it again. I usually do slaw on a hot dog. Slaw and mustard. Sounds good to me on a hot dog. Thank you, guys. Please keep on praying for my dad. Cindy, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Terry loves fried cabbage and onions. Me too. We love cabbage stir fry. Oh, my word. My favorite thing is in the world. Pamela said. This is delicious. Oh, this smells delicious, y'all. Oh, I just took the top off. I was fixing to stir it, but I thought I'd look and see if there's a question I can answer while I'm stirring. Oh, my goodness. It smells yummy. Not a very healthy supper tonight. My twins are 13 today and picked something off keto. You know what, Deanna? It's okay every once in a while. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I can promise you I've not been perfect for 5 years. There are days where I just decide, you know what? I'm going to have lasagna. Last night was family night. My daughter cooked lasagna. My mom cooked spaghetti, and I had garlic bread for the family. I have no idea how many people over here. My dad didn't get to come. He didn't feel like coming. But he's next door, so we all just took turns going to visit Dad. And my mother-in-law cooked a lemon cake, and my uncle cooks homemade ice cream. Like yesterday was my day. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy this with the family. And I had some lasagna. And I also had a piece of lemon cake. And I had homemade ice cream. Like, that's not a normal day for me. And normally if I do choose off keto, it's like I would have had the lasagna. And that's it. And a side salad. But instead, I just went all willy-nilly crazy yesterday. And you know what? It doesn't kill you to do that every once in a while. Now, if you're like me and you're a food addict and you do that more than every once in a while, you're not going to be successful. You just can't. You can't be successful if you don't create good, strong habits that lead to healthier living. But you know what, Deanna? It is okay. You enjoy that 13-year-old's birthday, and you guys eat something that you really enjoy, and then just get right back to it tomorrow. That's the key. Get right back to it tomorrow. All right, so let me see if there's any other questions really quick. I'm going to give you guys an update on my dad because I know a lot of you are asking me. Brussels sprouts and cauliflower, pork steaks, yum, pork chops. See that? I've never added paprika. Oh, it's so good. Karen, it's so good. We made a chicken stir fry, and it was so delicious with paprika and garlic powder. It was so good. All right, everybody's talking about the sauerkraut now. Y'all going to have to make me try it, aren't you? You guys going to make me try it? You're going to hold me accountable, aren't you? I don't even know how to cook it. Y'all might have to tell me something about it. I don't like the smell of cooking cabbage. Sauerkraut with smoked sausage is good. All right, guys, I think I'm getting down here to the bottom. All right, let me give you an update on Dad. So we went to Vanderbilt today for a third opinion. And this doctor we found through this rare cancer. I shared with you guys this cancer is so rare that there actually is a foundation that patients created. So I found it just luckily Googling because I've been trying to learn and read everything I possibly can about this cancer to help Dad. And I ran across this website, and it was called the Cholangiocarcinoma Foundation. So I thought, okay, and I clicked it, and there was so much information on there. And I just reached out through the website, and I mean, literally the very next day I got an email from someone. I had no idea who they were, but it was just an email, and they started asking me questions, and they gave me a link to some frequently asked questions, and they just gave me a lot of information. And then they asked if they could schedule a call with me. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm trying to learn everything I possibly can. And the founder of this foundation was actually a man and his sister. The gentleman had this cancer, and it was years and years ago. If I remember right, it was like 13 years ago, maybe longer. I can't remember, but the core value of this group is it was a man who was suffering with this cancer, and it was still fairly early when it was, I mean, it's very rare. It was like 10,000 people a year get this cancer my dad has. And his sister and he did so much research, and as he was coming to his end time, he told his sister that he really wanted her to continue the research and create a foundation because he didn't want all of the research they did to go to waste. Like, he wanted to help future people who have this cancer. So that's how this foundation got started. So anyway, they asked us if they could schedule a call, and we scheduled a Zoom call, and me and my mom and my dad all jumped on it together. And we got so much hope from these people. Like, the director of the foundation is actually a 14-year survivor of this rare cancer, and she was stage 4. My dad is stage 3. All the paperwork says stage 3, likely 4. But she was stage 4, and she's a 14-year survivor. Now, she was in a different place than my dad. She was very honest. Very honest. Nobody has been dishonest with us. Everybody has been brutally honest, as a matter of fact. But anyway, she gave us a lot of great information, and she told us, look, if you want to get 15 opinions, get them. Like, it's not going to hurt doctors' feelings, which I don't want to hurt people's feelings. As a matter of fact, when I talk to the doctors, I'm like, sometimes feel myself skirting around asking hard questions because I'm asking them tough questions of themselves. But I have to. And so anyway, she said, don't worry about the doctors. This is your health. This is your family's health. Do what you got to do. And she gave us a map of doctors, and this doctors list is doctors who have actually treated this cancer. So it's not just the cancer doctor, because there's thousands of cancer doctors. There's probably millions of cancer doctors out there, but there's only 10,000 cases of this cancer in the U.S. every year. So they gave us a list of doctors who are actually treating this cancer, and the doctor we saw today is the reason we chose her, as she was on this list. So it's our third opinion. We went to see her, and guys, She basically told us that we're doing everything we can do right now. The treatment my dad is getting, he's had 2 chemo treatments from a doctor here locally in our town. She sang his praises. She said she knows him, and they've actually worked together on cases before. So he has also seen this cancer, and he told us he did, but he's not on this list. It's like this foundation has a list of doctors that gets updated every 3 months, every quarter. And these doctors have to have seen a minimum of 10 cases a year, 10,000 cases in the U.S. The doctors on this list have seen 10 cases or more each year. So, I just feel like that's what I wanted. Like, I wanted to see a doctor who knows more and who is helping with research. And she has actually helped research in this cancer foundation. So anyhow, we went to her. Super nice lady. Every doctor has their own bedside manner, right? So hers was very, very sweet, not timid, but not overbearing. One doctor we saw was very, very educational. Like, he'd come in and he was just like drawing pictures and telling us his concerns, but gave us hope. And he actually even gave us a hug. But then when we talked to him again, not so much. But she was just very meek and very, very light in her voice. But she basically told us the exact same thing we've already heard. So we're waiting on a 4th opinion. She told us that she really thinks we're in good hands with where we are. She didn't think it was necessary for us to move treatment. She honestly said that my dad does not fit into any criteria for a clinical trial at this moment because of his particular cancer and where he's at in that cancer. They feel pretty certain. This is the second person who has told us that it has already spread. We just don't have tests to show us yet because there are so many lymph nodes involved with the second scans they did just a few weeks after the first. So, she told us the same thing. We're going to play this month to month. Dad may have a month to live. He may have 5 years to live. There is no one out here who can tell us that because none of us are God, right? But she did tell us that the cancer treatments he's getting is the standard treatment for this cancer at this time. And he just is not, he's not at a place where he can have clinical trials. So that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that we was going to get to talk to somebody about clinical trials because my dad wants to do everything in his power to fight. He's not ready to go yet, even though he is 100% clear in his faith, and he knows that when it's his time, he's ready. I'm so proud of myself. I'm talking to you guys and not crying. But he is 100% understanding and okay with the fact that if it is God's will, that he will go. But he's not ready. Like, my dad's only 64, just newly retired. There's so many things still to come in this life that he hasn't got to experience yet with my kids. So, he wants to see great grandkids and he wants to see my son get married. There's still so much that he doesn't want to miss. So he's not ready to go, even though his faith is strong and he knows that he's okay if it is his time. The bad thing and the hard thing is just that my dad just wants somebody to tell him. And nobody can tell him. Like, nobody can just tell him. He just has to keep positive, keep that faith strong. And just know that the chemo has worked with some patients with this cancer. It just doesn't work all the time. So, we're praying specifically for this chemo to react to this cancer so that he can have a couple of years. It's 100% terminal. It's 100% not curable. He knows this. But, if we can get two years, that's awesome. That's awesome, right? If we can get 2 years, that's awesome. If we can get 1 year, that's awesome. If we can get a couple of months, that's awesome, as long as it's good months. So we don't want to be, and we were so blessed, y'all. He's had 2 chemo treatments, and the only symptom he's had is just being tired. So he hasn't gotten sick. He hasn't gotten a lot of nausea. Like, he's not having any pain. That itching is driving him crazy, and he's just really tired. So other than that, we're just praying. So you guys, please continue to pray specifically that this chemo works, because that's what the doctors are telling us, that there's nothing else we can do except go through this chemo treatment. And 4 to 6 weeks is when we're going to know if it's doing anything. And after that, they're going to have another hard conversation with us to let us know that Dad has to make another choice. Does he want to continue and keep praying that the chemo works, or does he want to stop? And you know what? God's a miracle worker. And we can totally see this thing completely turn around. I believe that with all my heart. And that's all I'm going to say, because I'm getting emotional. So I did really well. I really want to give you guys an update without crying. That way you know what to pray for. And I just really appreciate all of you guys. So let's look at this really quick. And thank you guys. I see that and I really appreciate it. Just keep praying seriously for my dad, Joe Grace. Just like Amazing Grace, Joe Grace. He definitely needs the prayers, and so does my mom. And look at this, guys. This is looking super good. Now you'll see this cabbage has started to wilt. That's exactly what we want. Remember earlier, like we could barely close the lid on this thing because the cabbage was overflowing the skillet. As it cooks, it just wilts down to smaller cabbage. And you'll see that sausage is starting to brown. Look at that. I mean, isn't that beautiful? I mean, that looks really pretty, right? I'm not done with it yet. I want my cabbage to be really cooked well. We're going to add more salt and pepper. We're gonna add 3 teaspoons of paprika, and if I need to, I'll add more. And I might throw a little bit of garlic powder on there, but right now I don't plan to. But you'll see there is a little bit too much liquid in there. I don't like that. I put a little bit too much oil in there, so I didn't measure it. I should have. I said about 2 tablespoons. Usually with the oil, that cabbage, I'm gonna have to get that out because that's gonna drive me crazy. I don't like that at all. So I'm gonna get some of this liquid out. No big deal. No big deal. I just don't want it in there. But this is going to be super delicious. And Ricky's going to be super happy to eat it. All right, I'm going to take the lid off because I know the lid also can help soak up that, or the lid actually covers it up and creates a little bit more liquid. So I'm going to take the lid off so it can continue to cook. And if I need to scrape some more of that out or soak up some of that liquid, I certainly can do that with a paper towel or a spoon, whatever. And we're just going to keep stirring this occasionally. And I'm going to go ahead and add some paprika. So I'm going to do 3 teaspoons. And guys, if you don't have any more questions, I sure appreciate you guys so much. Just keep praying for my parents, my dad specifically. How many treatments has he had so far? 2. He had one last Thursday and a Thursday before, and this is his week of rest. So that's why we chose this week. Well, we actually got it as fast as we did. We've done everything as fast as we humanly possibly can because this is an aggressive cancer. So, all right, 1, 2, 3. It's called, I think I saw somebody ask a while ago what kind of cancer it is. It's called cholangiocarcinoma. It's cancer of the bile duct. So his liver is not working because his bile ducts are being attacked. His liver and his bile ducts are just attacked with cancer. Okay. Oh, somebody's texting me. Unless it's old. I think it was my mama, so I'm going to have to go. All right, we just added some paprika in there. Salt and pepper in there. It's going to be so yummy. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off. I just wanted you guys to see how to core your own cabbage, how to slice it super thin for cabbage stir fries. And you also can do it that thin if you are going to roast your cabbage, which is my favorite way to cook cabbage. It's just roasting it in the oven. All you do is put your oven on 350, slice it super thin like this, season it with salt and pepper, and heavily drizzle with avocado oil. Put it on a baking sheet and just let it roast. Oh, man, it's so good. And you just stir it every once in a while to make sure it's not sticking. And if it is, add a little bit more avocado oil, and that's it. I mean, you just let it roast in there for as long as you want to. We like ours wilted and browned as a roasted cabbage, and we love it. Doesn't this look good? Ooh, that looks good. That's still a hard piece. All right, let me stir this, and we'll stop the video. Ooh, it looks, Lord, I'm just making a mess. Whew, okay. I better stop stirring. I'm going to stir it all over the kitchen. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night, and I will see all of you guys tomorrow. If I can help you in any way, send me a message because I am here to help you, and I want to stay busy. So don't hesitate. Reach out to me. I'm here to help all of you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.